Hello, welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman here with Boxxer Ben Shalom. Ben, what a day for an open workout. What a weekend and a week for Boxing 2 in Bournemouth, no less. Talk me through the card, Ben. You must be excited.
Oh, so excited. It's been an amazing journey in Bournemouth. Just smooth sailing from the start. Last 12 months ago was when we did Isaac Chamberlain. So to do that, almost fight of the year for us, and then the knockout in December. But to be here in front of the stadium, 15,000 tickets sold, very special. These are the weeks that you have to enjoy as a company. Feels like a holiday, but an unbelievable fight that we got on Saturday night, and it's just encapsulated the whole South Coast. It's the biggest event they've ever had down here. Unbelievable.
We'll get to the main event, but talk me through the undercard. What can people expect to see on the undercard? Maybe pick out a couple of fights that might steal the show potentially.
Look, Pigford Egginton's the obvious one. Egginton fight of the year so many times. Joe Pigford knows one way, and he's got huge power. And if Sam Egginton leaves himself open like we used to, it's going to be an interesting night. But unbelievable fight. I think for boxing fans, that was always going to be the pick out. Even when Lawrence Chamberlain was on the card, I think that's got potential for fight of the night. It's a special fight. Cutler Stannard is another unbelievable 50-50 British fight between two guys who are going to lay it all on line. Obviously, Lee Cutler, people might not know, is a huge local fan favourite down here. This is his big step up into the English title, and Stannard's with Carl Greaves, who we work very closely with. It's a big fight, and Lee Cutler equally as entertaining as Sam Egginton and Joe Pigford. It's a massive local card. Obviously, McKinson's back on there. Louis Edmondson comes across from Southampton, and it's just the whole of the South Coast, whether it's Salisbury, whether it's Southampton, whether it's Portsmouth with McKinson. This is the biggest event that's ever happened on the South Coast, and for Bournemouth as well, it's the biggest event they've ever had in the stadium. This is the first outdoor event. It's just been a new experience for everyone. The council, I can't thank enough. The stadium, Joe Ashford-Ellis, who's invested so much in Bournemouth to make this happen. It's been incredible. And for Chris Billam-Smith to go from hoping to fight in Bournemouth to now fighting in the stadium in a domestic world title, it's just been a special journey. And I think it shows the power of British boxing when you have a right fighter in the right place with the right support, usually involving a football club. We've seen it with Josh Warrington and Ricky Hatton, and the legacy still lives on. Chris Billam-Smith's creating a legacy down here that's never happened, and it's amazing to be part of and amazing to see.
You're no stranger to giving fighters opportunities. Someone like Michael McKinstry is quite interesting because at every step that he's taken, he's always taken his opportunity, albeit against Virgil Ortiz, who he lost to, but it was a spirited effort nonetheless. And McKinstry spoke to us and he said, look, I'm the number one welterweight in the division, although I suppose Ben and Brook will outlay claims to that too, but do you feel he's got that ability to kind of push on really and really grasp the spotlight?
Look, he does, but look, the reality is, and we say that Lawrence wants to prove a point on Saturday night for this very reason. You've got to. This is entertainment, and Michael McKinstry probably is the most talented. I would go along with that. British welterweight, unbelievable talent, and it's obviously we're happy that he's on the show, but for him it's about how does he cross over now? How does he attract the fans? How does he become entertaining? He has the ability, and I think he can do it. But that's what boxing is about. That's what Lawrence Okolie wants to put on a statement on Saturday night. McKinstry will want to do the same. You've got to make fighters want to fight you. It's okay being better than Conor Ben. It's okay probably, being better than a lot of welterweights I won't mention in this country that get plenty of opportunities. But people got to want to watch you fight. He's got a great fan base from Portsmouth. He's coming over. This is a perfect card for him to be on. But for me, he needs to kick on and show why people should want to watch him.
It's not often that boxing fights have narrative. You've had that with fights like Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. You had that with fights like Liam Smith and Chris Eubank. You have that now with Lawrence Okolie versus Chris Billam-Smith, two former stablemates fighting out for the Cruiserweight World title. What's it like for you to be representing both of them? And in terms of also, specifically with Lawrence, you feel that this is the fight where, look, he puts on a good performance, which maybe you feel he has to, given his last performance against David Light, and then he can also really push on to that next level too.
I have to enjoy it as a promoter these kind of weeks because you've got both guys. It's not like if one wins and one loses, and I want them both to perform at the very best of what they can. This was a perfect fight for both of them. Lawrence Okolie had a very tough night in March. He felt it, and he wanted to get back out. And he is the best cruiserweight in the world. He is world champion, but the the scrutiny that he's under is unprecedented for me, and he wants to put that right. And that's why when Chris Billam-Smith, who was the one that said I want this fight, when it was put to Lawrence Okolie, he said, "Yep, 7 weeks, voluntary defence in a stadium. You know, everything is for Chris Billam-Smith in this fight. It has narrative, it has the history, but it's a special fight because of that." And credit to both guys. As I say, I think from a promoter's point of view, it's a perfect fight for Chris Billam-Smith. He gets his dream, he gets his homecoming, he gets his opportunity to, as I say, create a legacy and create history down here. And Lawrence Okolie gets the perfect fight for him to show why people should want to watch him, why he is the best cruiserweight in the world, and why he can make a statement. And it's set up perfectly for both of them.
React waiting in the wings.
He is. He'll be here this week, and though he's made no secret about fighting Lawrence Okolie, but equally, if Billam-Smith was to pull it off on Saturday night, I'm sure he would want to get back in there with Chris Billam-Smith, having already beat him. For me, Richard Riakporhe is probably the most talented cruiserweight without a world title. He's something special. His freakish power is something that we've seen from negotiating fights no one wants to get in there with. Very, very excited about him, and he'll be here on Saturday night, I'm sure, very interested in what happens.
Ben mentioned other big fights. We just had the announcement that Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. 2 is taking a further delay. Can you give us the full situation on that delay and when fans can expect to see the fight?
Look, it's been difficult, and I'm frustrated. You know, frustrated for the fighters, but for ourselves as well, and Calla, and it's a lot of work. And I think the main thing is that the card goes on. It's still a huge card. Marshall Cruz, Chelly Heffron, Simpson now goes on that fight who we have high hopes for against Boris Crichton in a tough step up for him. Ben Whittaker, obviously back to entertain, and Tasha Jonas will finally be back defending her unified world title. So it's an unbelievable card that goes on. But for the guys, obviously frustrated. We will be able to announce a new date next week. I think Liam Smith's had this nagging back injury that we thought would be quicker to recover from, but it'll be August now. And yeah, we'll get that fight on. We'll announce it next week, but the show goes on July 1st.
I think with announcements and delays, and I guess further delays, is maybe confidence might wane a slight bit that the fight might not happen. Are you confident that the fight will still happen then?
Both fighters are desperate for the fight. Chris Eubank Jr. wants to avenge his loss. Liam Smith is ready for this fight. He's the ultimate professional. I've seen comments about medical reports and this and that. Liam Smith, look at the history of who he's fought and when he fights. He's been a professional 15 years. Name me someone that's done that at the current time. It's an incredible professional. But he isn't fit. He needs to wait. We need to wait until August, and that fight will happen. We're able to postpone that fight, and it has to happen. And I'm just gutted for both fighters. And it's so difficult logistically trying to rearrange a fight like that, and with the undercard and everything. But both of them are ready to go, and hopefully we can announce that next week with Wasserman Boxing as well.
And we'll leave that there. Thanks for speaking to SecondsOut. Looking forward to a really good fight week in Bournemouth this weekend. Appreciate you.